From campus, come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Yeah, one from campus. How we are carrying on from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Hey, some make us on that list, some make me tell you this. Students, some will make we have to this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything what concern you. I don't know where they come past you. It's all about the gospel. So tell me what one from campus. Things are going on from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, the other one. Now, hey, I want one from campus. And we are coming out from campus. Come on, tell me what one. I want one. Hey, one, everybody want.
Wagwan, wagwan, everybody, wagwan. Hello, hello, hello. It is Campus Connection time. Welcome to the show. I'm Anesta, and I'm all by my lonesome today. My co host, Jonathan Fletcher, is not with me, but I'm so grateful to have each and every one of you on listening, or you can jump onto our live stream and watch with us. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. So please consider jumping on and, just leaving a comment, letting us know that you are here, say good evening, and just give a big up because we have a really really good show lined up for you guys as always. And I'm trusting that everyone who is listening that you'll be able to come on, comment, keep my company, be my co-host, my virtual co-host today. And we're looking forward to just everything that will happen in the show today. It's Peace Day. Today, March 5, 2024. It's Peace Day. And so we're talking about peace in schools. And we have a few guests lined up for that segment. We have Miss Michaela Brown, Deputy Head Girl at the Montego Bay High School. We have Mr. Matthew White, Head Boy at Cornwall College. We have Mr. Micton Ebanks, a senior teacher at Black River High, and they will be joining us for the discussion. But before we even get there, because that discussion is all the way at 5:55, before we even get there, we have for you our education news and bulletin, and we have a creative block with Miss Tishana Mullings, a social development practitioner. I'm about to get into it with her just to find out more about what she does. And then, of course, after that, we have one of my favorite features of this show, I Chose Christ. And in today's episode, we will hear from Tyra Renee Harris, a third year management student at the University of the West Indies. So, as you can see, lots and lots in store for you. But just before we get into all of that, we have a campus alert. Campus alert. The Denham Town High School would like to say thank you to two of their stalwarts on Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Mr. Glenroy Bailey, who served 37 years, and Mr. Christopher Chin for 34 years of service. Together, they represent 71 years of service to education. They're now retiring from public teaching, and we certainly want to wish them all the best. We wish them lots of rest and fun and vacationing because our teachers truly, truly deserve it. They worked so hard, and now it's time for them to relax. All right. So, we also want to go now to our education news and bulletin, which will be brought to you by Miss Danielle Tavares. She is a final year student studying integrated marketing and communications.
Good evening, everyone. I am Daniel Tavares, and here is the Education News and Bulletin for Tuesday, March 5, 2024, here inside Campus Connection. Principal of Jonathan Grant High School, Dr. Anil B. Uncle, resigns after a 12-year tenure. Dr. Ankle shared the news while addressing the Spanish Town based school last Thursday, explaining that his stepping down is in preparation for his upcoming migration. Dr. Ankle is famous for his ban on all, quote, dunce bags in the beginning of the 2023 to 2024 academic year. The principal and life coach strongly believes that academic, moral, and social development is a shared responsibility. He's also an excellent writer who co authored the popular grade 4 workbook Leaps and Bounds in Literacy, Writing and Comprehension Skills 2005, and contributed a chapter to the scholarly publication Leadership for Success, the Jamaica School Experience 2017. Dr. Ankle has guided a developmental shift at a school that was previously categorized as underperforming. Under his leadership, performance has improved substantially over the years, with school officials ensuring that students understand what greatness entails and strive for achievement despite obstacles. We now shift our focus to the Minister of National Security, Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, who has stressed the government's commitment to ensuring the safety of the island school children. He was addressing the Sam Sharp Teachers College's Research Day, which was held on the campus in Granville, St. James last Wednesday. Dr. Chang remarked that education is a right, not a privilege, that all Jamaican children must have. He noted that this government is committed to not just increasing access, but also improving quality and providing a proper environment for children to study and grow. That, he says, is the basis on which greater country will be built while maintaining a stable and healthy community. The minister cited a study commissioned by the Security Ministry in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Youth last year that examined the public's opinion on school safety. The results also revealed that school safety was strongly connected with academic success. The minister stated that because of the study's findings, the ministry is collaborating with entities such as the Social Development Commission, SDC, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security to work with school communities to implement programs aimed at increasing student safety. Dr. Chang noted further that research should be treated as a significant part of the island's education sector, as it would be a sign of development and thus stop the growth and spread of crime. In other news, the Scientific Research Council has extended the deadline for entries in the National Young Inventors and Innovators Competition to March 31st. Executive Director Dr. Chara Watson stated that the extension was granted in the best interests of students who desire to participate and provide additional time for participants to prepare. The competition is open to students at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels, with this year's theme being Youth Centered Science, Technology, and Innovation for Sustainable Development. Students have a chance to come up with project ideas that promote economic growth while preserving the country's natural resources. Interested students can apply online from the Council's website, which can be accessed at src.gov.jm/ or by emailing entries to headsrc@src-jamaica.org. Shortlisted participants will present their innovative business ideas to a panel of judges ahead of the National Science Fair, which has also been rescheduled to occur during the summer holiday. The winners will receive electronic gadgets, gift vouchers, and prizes that will be awarded for Best Overall Pitch, Best Overall Innovation, Best Commercial Innovation, Best Agriculture Innovation, Best Use of Technology, and Best Youth Impact Innovation. Now, time for the bulletin. Emmanuel Apostolic Church on 12 Slipe Road presents Youth Week 2024 under the theme Cultivate, Elevate, Propagate, the Route to Success from March 6th to March 10th, 2024. 6:30 p.m. nightly, 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. Youths, you can't afford to miss it. St. Catherine High School Interschool Christian Fellowship presents ISCF Week 2024 from Sunday, March 10 to Saturday, March 16th under the theme Fortified for the Future, Living by God's Word. The week's activities include church service on March 10 at Harmony Gospel Chapel on 20 Corlettes Road. On Monday, March 11th, combined worship at 8 a.m. with Ronaldo Rust, SCFSU staff worker. Special presentations and ministry on Tuesday, March 12 and Wednesday, March 13 at 3 p.m. each evening. Thursday, March 14th, evening of prayer and set up for health fair. Friday, March 15th, the 12th annual health fair. And Saturday, March 16th, online Thanksgiving service via Zoom at 8 a.m. St. Catherine High School presents Health Fair 2024 under the theme Trending Health, Mental, Physical, and Spiritual on Friday, March 15th, 2024. Devotional concert featuring Shamar Jackson, Daniel Dixon, Nicolette Clayton, Daniel Dodd, 8 Niner Twins, Truth, and Prince Satch. Free doctor's visit, free HIV, diabetes, blood pressure, and cholesterol tests. Dental checks by Wellington Dental at only $3,500 for children and $5,000 for adults. Booth displays, product and service offerings by Proactive Lifestyle, National Health Fund, NHF, ISCF Jamaica, Passion and Purity, Jamaica Information Service, JIS, First Care Medical Plan, Heart/NSTA Trust, EduHub, VTDI, STEM Builders Learning Hub, and much more. Event admission free. That's all the news we have for you today inside Education News and Bulletin.
Okay, where are the campus?
Thank you so much to Miss Danielle Tavares, a final year student at the UWI for the Education News and Bulletin. We just want to remind everyone that you can interact with me live. You can go to our Facebook live stream. We're also live on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And you can also reach out to us on TikTok. Yes, Love 101 FM is now on TikTok, Love 101 FM Jamaica. And you can, of course, reach out to us on our WhatsApp line. It's 876-997-3125. And here's what we want to know. What do you think should be done to make our schools a more peaceful environment? What do you think should be done to make our schools a more peaceful environment? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I have some thoughts of my own, but I'd love to hear yours on what can really be done. Because when we consider just our school, some of our schools, students are literally living in fear and having to learn in those conditions. I know it's rough. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out to us on WhatsApp, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube. All right. It is now time to share with our guests in the Creative Block segment, Miss Tishana Mullings. Miss Tishana Mullings is a social development practitioner who is shaped by rural life and entrepreneurial upbringing and has a notable track record in personal and organizational advancement across Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean. A world traveler, this, you know. Her accolades include the Rural Regeneration Award from USAID and Jamaica National, along with several recognitions from the government and international bodies. So, hello, Tishana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to join.
Awesome, awesome. So, my my first question after reading your bio, I wanted to know more about who is a social development practitioner. What exactly do you do, and how long have you been doing this?
All right, so this is the creative block, right?
Right, right.
A great space to talk about a career that sounds unconventional, but is conventional in one sense. And if you're an innovative social development practitioner, it can be unconventional. So pretty much, we all know what social development is, right? Because there's a social development commission, for example. So the term is familiar. So a social development practitioner is really a person who innovates to solve social challenges. So there are some persons who focus on one challenge, like probably dealing with teenage pregnancy, or probably geriatric care, or housing issues. But then they're generalists like myself. So I work on various different social projects, depending on who the person is that I'm consulting with. So, like for example, in the UK, I used to work with middle-aged and older people to help them feel more connected, especially those that were disconnected from their loved ones. In
Mm.
Jamaica, I do a lot of work with children from underserved communities who are not having access to high quality education.
Wow, that is so impressive, and I love that you have this so much experience. How long have you been practicing?
Over a decade. Yeah.
Okay,
So
wow.
my career has been evolving, and what
Mhm.
I focus on in different moments might change. But yeah, since leaving NCU back in 2012, I went straight to
Wow.
a project with the credit union, which was funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna jump to a quick break, but when we return, I would love to hear more about how you have just evolved and some of the projects you've worked on. So please stick and stay with us here on Campus Connection. When we return, more from Miss Tishana Mullings. Stay with us.
All right, we're gonna do a roll call.
The little junkie is on duty every Saturday inside News Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Reverb. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on your family station. Tune in at 4 p.m. for our gym feature where we share word to blow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving of their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We're gonna take a poetry and spoken word inside poetry games. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Saves at 5. Oh, this and more every Saturday on your family station. Love 101 at 3 p.m. inside News Connection with your love jockey, your boy, DJ Raymond. Did you know that many of my schoolmates are on unhealthy diets, especially at school, and now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less, or two or three, at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're serving less foods high in saturated fats, sugar, and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease, and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Act now. Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. 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 See everything where you need. Bashco. Quality service guaranteed on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Yeah, Bashco. Furniture for your house, let's put in everything for your kitchen, house and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco. Done. Look here. Close your eyes and touch anywhere on the map of Jamaica.
Okay.
With unlimited flow data for navigation apps, we can go anywhere we want to and have more data to do anything we need to.
You've arrived at your destination.
Now, Flow's unlimited social and talk prepaid plans come with unlimited data for Waze and Google Maps, plus more TikTok data and any youth data. Get a 7-day Flow prepaid plan for only $950. Get your plan today. Download the Top Up Flow app. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I am joined by Miss Tishana Mullings, a social development practitioner. And before the break, she was telling us a little bit about herself and how she got started. And so I wanted to find out from you, Miss Mullings, what exactly would you consider to be your life's mission? I know it has something to do with social development, but what would you consider your life's mission and what led you to this point in your career?
Yeah. So pretty much my life's mission is to help people and organizations live more impactful lives and amplify their impact in the world, pretty much. So there are a lot of people who have lots of skills that they could be making money from, making big impact with, but they just don't know how to unearth it. So I like to be very practical in my approach. So you might find me on a typical day like today. If I just tell you what today was like, then you'll get an idea. So in the morning, I had an interview, a TV interview at one of the stations,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went to a grant writing workshop so I can sharpen my grants. And then from there, I went to the National Tools and Engineering Institute to do a workshop on cultural sensitivity in business, to help the young people understand how to operate in a global context, how to use your knife and fork and proper etiquette. So my A skill is training, but I use my training in areas to help people to really advance. Before that, last week you could find me at Kingston Freeport Terminal, my team and I, training them on how do you manage millennials and persons from older generations and Gen Zs in the
Right,
workplace and still be productive. So
right.
I'm always using training as a tool to help people and organizations to be more productive. That's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Wow, I find your job, like your career, so amazing because social development, it's never really, when you see those list of careers that you're choosing in school, it's never, you don't see a social development practitioner. But
Yeah.
I love just what you've shared with us so far. Can you highlight any strategy that you have used to make a positive impact? In, I would say, the past, what, 3 years or so,
Yeah.
especially even in the social media landscape.
All right, so I use a tool called the ambitious target tree, which is basically setting a goal. And then the first thing you do after setting the goal is look at the obstacles that could stop you.
Mhm,
And that's very counterintuitive for a lot of people because you think about, I want to do these things, and you think about every way that you can make it possible. But what happens is when you pre think all the possible obstacles and you work out a strategy to deal with those obstacles, even if it's different obstacles that eventually come your way,
mhm,
because you have had so much practice with looking at how do I deal with obstacles, then
mhm,
it really works. And then you said in the social media landscape, I remember just last night sharing, somebody was saying to me, how is it that you have such a big impact on audiences when you speak to audiences? So I was sharing with them, the truth is that I lead with compassion. So and so
mhm.
even if I'm doing
Love
a
it.
keynote, it's not about how eloquent I am or how vivacious I am. It's about how can I really lift my audience? What problems, what challenges, what strategies are these people looking for? And
Mhm.
that is all that matters to me in that moment. It's like I completely forget self, and all I want is to help these people to really advance.
Wow, that is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I know we do have to wrap, but can you tell us any of your future plans career-wise?
Well, I'm definitely thinking about doing a PhD. I said to people, my life is always about impact, but I'm in a money season. Yes, I want to make money. So I
Okay.
do charge for what I do. So if I'm going to do a PhD, I want it to be a PhD that pays me to study. And I want to do it in a country or somewhere where I can advance my business. So I can also be, amplifying the amount that I earn and my career advancement while
Mhm.
I'm getting that degree. Because for me, life is not about degrees. It doesn't
Right.
even matter if I ever do a doctorate because I'm able
Says
to,
the lady with the MSc, BSc honors. Not
yeah,
life is not about degrees.
right? And I'm doing two postgrads at the moment as well. Yeah,
Wow.
because I've always been
Congrats.
teaching. So
Congrats.
I
Wow.
why not be a trained teacher? So that's one of them. And the next one is a secret.
Ah, okay. We look forward to hearing the new developments. But
Yeah.
but certainly congratulations on all you've accomplished so far. Is there anyone at all that you would like to thank, give a shout out or a big up to for where you are, the person you are today?
Well, my mentor is my biggest support. My mentor does not like publicity, but my mother, Shirley Mullings, my sister Asha Gay Mullings, they're my closest family members here in
Mhm.
Jamaica. So I just want to big them up. And my original home church in St. Thomas, Miracle Ministry Full Gospel Mission. And in Kingston, I attend Family Word and Worship with Pastor Junior Tucker. So I want to
Mm.
big up all of those people. And
Wow,
anybody here,
wow.
I love you.
Wow, awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Tishana Mullings, for coming on and sharing with us about social development. And you are certainly blazing a trail, and we wish you all the best here on Campus Connection.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you as well.
Awesome. Wow. So we see that we have some really creative careers out there. So we don't have to stick to the traditional careers, but there are some interesting and innovative careers that exist, guys. Just takes a little bit of research. So up next we have I Chose Christ by Tyra Renee Harris, a third-year management student at the University of the West Indies. Let's listen in and be blessed.
I'm Tyra Renee, a third year management student, and this is my testimony about God's transformation in my life. I've been a Christian since I was around 8, 9, or 10. Basically, ever since I could really remember, I've been in church. I went to church every Friday, every Sunday. I wore the skirt and I wore the head wrap. But the truth is, I never really had a relationship with God. Close to sixth form, I started rebelling. I wanted to dress how I wanted to dress and go places that, young girls want to go, preteens. I was being a preteen, and it really drove a wedge between me and church. And I became offended and I became rebellious, and that seeped into me beginning university. No, when I got to university, it was a whole different ballpark. I board at UA, so you know that there's a certain level of freedom that comes with that. But there is just as great a level of responsibility. And I realized very quickly that this was not high school and this was not a game, this was real life. And things started to spiral a little bit. I was struggling with a few things. I wasn't around the right people. I didn't have the best kind of friends. And so I kind of got into the culture of parties and just liming and wasting time, wasting potential. Eventually, you know that the free paper always gets burnt. So when I really hit the wall, I ran right back to what I knew best, and that was God. But when I ran back to Him, it wasn't the same because this time I had no other choice but to just trust Him and lean on Him. And there is a certain kind of vulnerability about that when you really have no other option and all you're doing is depending on God. And He can really show Himself. And He showed Himself for me from the small things like food every day to the big things like tuition. And and that's where I really learned that God was a provider. He was a waymaker, and most importantly, He was a friend and He was a father. That's where my relationship with God started. I got found a church community. Little by little, I started losing my old friends and my old habits, and new people were introduced to my life. And this process of transformation had begun, and it's been difficult, and there has been turbulence. But ever since I chose Christ, there has been just a difference in me, my approach to life, situations, and people. And there has just been a difference in my heart posture overall. I chose Christ, and you should too.
All right, we just heard from Tyra Renee Harris, a third-year management student at the University of the West Indies, reminding us that she chose Christ and you should too. Her testimony was really a blessing for me. It brought me back to my own college life experience, and just want to encourage our college students that you can maintain your fervency, your love for God while on campus. Yes, there are distractions, but there are lots and lots of opportunities to really serve the Lord while you're on campus. And you don't have to wait till you're in college. Even if you're in high school right now, you still have that opportunity to impact your peers, influence them for the kingdom of God. All right, so we're going to a quick break. And when we return, we will have our guests to discuss peace in schools. Please stay with us here on Campus Connection. We'll be right back.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the morning watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The morning watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the morning watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The morning watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Darlene Toussaint. The morning watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The morning watch is on the family station Love 101.
It's time to accelerate. Get ready for the Woman Ignite Success Summit 2024. March 8 to 9, Jamaica, Pegasus, Kingston. 2 days of intense worship and conversations about building kingdom wealth, business, marriage, finding purpose, and more. Featuring from the U.S., author and business leader Nona Jones, business coach Dr. Latanya Moore, pastor and entrepreneur Sarah Connor, high-performance business coach Natalie Taylor, and much more. Woman Ignite Success Summit, March 8 to 9, Jamaica, Pegasus. Get tickets at womanigniteja.com. Powered by One Group, Visual Tech, Digital Video Concepts, and other partners.
Get ready for an electrifying and soul-stirring experience. Sound Entertainment presents Jerusalem on Saturday, March 30th at 6 p.m. at the Ligony Club. Come see African gospel sensation Victor Thompson, along with Rhoda Isabella, Rondell Positive, Jody and Morgan, Island Kings, and Perpetual Praise. Tickets cost $5,000 general, $10,000 VIP, and children under 12, $1,500. Get your tickets now at AITix.com. That's AITIX.com. And Fontana Pharmacies Island Ride. Jump family, friend, even a neighbor, and witness the stage come alive. It's Jerusalem, sponsored by Love 101, Joseph J.A., Gospel J.A., Adams Decor, at Goodies Energy J.A.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm Anesta and I'm your host for today's show. Before the break, we were just talking with Miss Tishana Mullings, a social development practitioner. We also heard I Chose Christ by Tyra Renee Harris. And no, I just wanted to acknowledge those of you who are watching us online. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, hello to you, Stacy McLean, Valerie Bowen, Alvarine Ellison. Stacy says, in response to our question, what do you think should be done to maintain peace in schools? Stacy says sometimes the problem starts at home, and she says, I'm talking by experience. I think we need some parenting seminars along with the kids. So, what should be done to make schools safer is actually to make homes safer, according to Stacy. And I have to say, I would agree with her stance on that. Let me just read an excerpt for you from the Jamaica Information Service. This article was published 2 days ago, and it says the Ministry of Education and Youth, in partnership with Peace and Love in Society, PALS Jamaica, celebrates Peace Day today, March 5. This year's theme is Let Peace Run Things. The Director of Safety and Security in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Richard Troop, said the ministry has committed its support to the initiative, recognizing the importance of inculcating a spirit of peace within children. So, we have with us some guests who are going to help us to break down this topic even further. We have Miss Michaela Brown, Deputy Head Girl at the Montego Bay High School. We have Mr. Matthew White, Head Boy at Cornwall College. We have Mr. Micton Ebanks, Senior Teacher at Black River High School. And they are here with me to discuss peace in schools, the topic of peace in schools. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, everyone.
Hello, thank
Well,
you.
thank you very much. Hello.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a head boy, a head girl, and a senior teacher here to discuss this topic with us. So I'm, of course, going to pose the first question to our head boy and girl. Let me start with the head boy. How can we get more young persons to be peacemakers?
Okay, I think the important thing is, and I believe it's for all things, when you want a certain result, you have to demonstrate to people what the importance of said result is, right? So there has to be an understanding that without peace, without a certain amount of order and organization, you don't get a lot of the benefits that you would get. Like having useful education, having a prosperous life, having, just general certain benefits that relate to students. So once you're able to have students understand what it is that's at stake when there's disorder, when there is hatred, when there is malice, when
Mhm.
they understand that they have a better, ability to instill peace in schools.
And what say you, Michaela?
Well, I completely agree. One of the things, because I saw what this would be about, and I was thinking about a few solutions, and two things I came up with was education, which would speak to what Matthew was saying, and music.
Mm.
Surprisingly, yes, music or art in any form,
Mhm.
right? In terms of education, I believe that when you are able to, what's the word? Conceptualize something, particularly emotions,
Mhm.
and why people may act a certain way, or what not to say in order to trigger certain things, because sometimes it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. So, and as a communication studies student, I have been learning the effectiveness and importance of communication. And yes, I think education can most definitely impact. Just today we had Peace Day, and
Mhm.
just for them to wear a blue shirt or something blue in their hair, it is a reminder, and it makes them cognizant or aware of the fact that peace is something that we are trying to achieve.
Mhm.
And yeah, as music
Mhm.
or art of any form, I think is naturally people engage with
Mhm.
music. I believe music has a connection, or has the ability to have a connection with people that another human cannot have, despite the fact that it's a human who makes the music. But I was speaking with a friend the other day, and she always has her headphones on, and she has a backup for the backup earphone. I also was speaking to my cousin the other day, and he was talking about how he loves music so much, and how you can't even ask him why he loves it so much, because it's something that remains when everything else is gone. So I know music can have an impact on people, and just last month we were honoring Bob Marley,
Mhm.
so we know the influence that music can have, and I think it we need a positive, what is it, piped piper, pied piper for a generation to lead us into positivity.
Understood, understood. So, Mr. Ebanks, you are a senior teacher and you've no doubt interacted with so many students over the years. How can individuals, students develop effective conflict resolution skills even from early in life?
What I'm glad about this thing is that we have a head boy and head girl here with us.
Eh,
And I think
It's
one of the,
correction, it's a deputy head girl and
or
a head
deputy,
boy.
oh, excellent student leaders, and I love that. And I think one of the main things that I use to develop peace at Black River High School is by giving students leadership roles. And person might be saying, how does that develop peace? But let me tell you, when students are leaders, they become very responsible. And when they are responsible, they try their best to ensure that they live with everybody at peace. And also, they have an influence on their peers. Also, I heard is it the deputy head girl, she mentioned something about music.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that young people are glued to music at this time. And let me tell you one of the secrets that we use. I also assist with performing arts and theatre arts club. So just
Mm-hmm.
by being a part of this and allowing the students to learn to bond,
Mm-hmm.
because it's when it comes down to performing arts, it takes a lot of bonding. They have to get to know each other. So all of these encourage them how to interact with each other, live with each other. We have mentorship clubs. So all of these help to develop not just leadership skills, but it
Mm-hmm.
also helps them develop to become peaceful students who understand situation. They know how to deal with different situations. So artists mold them as you know, say, as a better individual. So these are just some of the approaches that we use to
Wow.
assist in making nice peace makers.
Wow, and I can just imagine having students who they're troubled, they don't know how to deal with issues. Now you're placing them in a leadership position, and suddenly they're the ones influencing others positively because of
Exactly.
that appointment. So I think that's awesome. That's an awesome approach. My question for
No, should I give you a quick example?
sure.
We had a student one time when we were doing art together sing. Now this young man was as they would quote unquote troubled child,
Mm-hmm.
gangs and all of that. He was at the brink of being expelled. So I went to the principal, me and another teacher, we said to them, let us work with the students. And you know what we did? We gave him a bass guitar. So he played bass guitar for the band. Let me tell you, see, right now he's married, he's in a job, he did sixth form, he got over nine
Wow.
subjects just by getting involved in performing arts. I just sometimes let me tell you, some of these students that give trouble, it's just that they just want someone to see them, to love
Mm-hmm.
them, to
Mm-hmm.
talk to them, and to
Mm-hmm.
just to show them that look, we know that life can be rough,
Mm-hmm.
but we are here to help you through it. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
need to become boisterous or want to fight. We are here to help you. And you
Mm-hmm.
can see a big change in their life.
Wow. So sometimes even just their acting out is actually a cry for help, a cry for attention. Is that what we're
So true.
saying?
That is in most cases it can be.
Wow.
It can be. It can be.
So I want to go back to Stacy's comment in the comments from YouTube. She mentioned that she believes if you make homes safer and more peaceful, then you would naturally have a more peaceful school environment. I see Michaela nodding like, yes, yes, that's true. So, Michaela, can you share with
Yes.
us your thoughts on that?
Most definitely. That is where growth begins at home. That is where you learn. That is where you start taking your baby steps and launching, right? It is your home. And I think most definitely, if you are learning peaceful principles or, that type of stuff, most definitely it will have an impact on your deportment, how you act, how you treat people. Yeah.
What say you, Matthew?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Michaela there, but I also have to, mention that the cumulative environment of a person is what you have to look at when determining how peace is brought about. Because we all know
Mhm.
those parents who say, "Oh, my child would never do that. I
Would
have no
never
idea
do that.
what you're talking about. Oh, he never do that to somebody." Right? So, yeah, so the principals have to be strong enough such that they don't depart from them when they get to school. But also there has to be requisite support and sufficient support from both teachers and peers to ensure that
Mhm.
they don't deviate significantly from what they've been taught and they're able to keep a level head, in the school environment.
Understood, understood. So, would you say that parenting can make a difference? I know you said the principals taught have to be really strong. So, does parenting play a role in that?
Well, yeah, of course, parenting plays a role in that. But I'll tell you exactly what type of parenting. It has to be the parenting that allows the child to understand and appreciate that their actions are theirs. It cannot be that I am disciplined as a child to think, oh, I'm only going to do the right thing because I know if I don't do the right thing, there'll be X, Y, Z consequence. Or all of my mal behavior, all of my misgivings will be resolved or absorbed by my parents. No. When you're parented, I think it's an important thing as well to teach them. I'm not just telling you this because
You seem to be breaking up
you know.
right in the middle of the point.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Can you
because
hear me
We
now?
lost you just for a bit, but you're back.
Okay, okay. Now, I was saying it's important to teach them the objective nature of things, right? I'm not just saying this because I'm your mother and father, but because this is an objectively good or right thing to know and it show them the consequences or examples in real life to show that okay, this is the reason I'm teaching this, right? during this year.
Understood. Wow. We do have to jump to a quick break, lady and gentlemen. But when we return, I would love to hear more from you all on our topic of peace in schools. Please stick and stay with us here on Campus Connection. We'll be right back.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
When you say Fosrich, you say electrical. SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Manville, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I'm Anesta, your host, and we are talking about peace in schools. There's still time, ladies and gentlemen, for you to chime in on our social media talkback question. We want to know, what do you think should be done to make schools a more peaceful environment? And of course, you can reach out to us on our Facebook or YouTube live chat. We're also on TikTok, Love 101 FM Jamaica, and you can reach out to us on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. So, of course, I'm going to be posing that question to our guests here on the panel. I'm going to start with Michaela. What do you think can be done to make our schools a more peaceful environment? And then I'll take Matthew and then Mr. Banks.
So I spoke of education earlier, but what I forgot to add was learning emotional intelligence. A lot of the times we use anger to mask other feelings. We could just be feeling sad and we feel the need to, get defensive or angry, and that leads to a scenario that is not entirely peaceful, right? So when we have the ability to learn emotional intelligence, you again understand emotions. And I feel when you are able to understand the concept behind something, when you're able to understand that emotions are from hormones rushing from your adrenal gland, you can better, I don't know, control, or I can't really in words put it, but I think, do you understand what I'm saying, right? Do you understand what I'm
Understand you. I
saying?
got you.
Okay, yes, yes,
So you're
emotional.
basically saying when you understand your emotions, when you're more emotionally aware, you
Mm-hmm.
know how to
To
address the
control it,
emotions that you're feeling.
definitely.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, what about you, Matthew?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off the idea of understanding because I think that's very, very important as well. There needs to be more exercises and activities for youth, or well, more investment in them that focus on your personal understanding, how you express yourself, and how you relate with others. Because when you know who you are and you understand the struggles of others, as Michaela was saying in terms of emotional intelligence, there's a low probability of conflict and of that certain type of stubbornness that leads to anger, right? So, for example, I'm a debater. I'm a very strong advocate of debate, right? Because to be a good debater, you have to not only understand yourself, you have to and your points, but you have to understand the other person's points almost better than they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also involved in the arts, which allows you to express yourself and to have that fulsome understanding of not only what you go through, but the human experience. And organizations like the JCDC, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, and the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment have been champions for those two things. I think if we are to market those sorts of activities as, um, good, or things that you should be a part of, if administrators were to market those things a little bit, I think we'd have more peace in schools as well.
Awesome. So just those creative outlets are a big source of young people gaining that emotional intelligence that we're speaking about. So, Mr. Ibanks, I'm throwing that question to you, but I'm also giving you another one. um, give me some practical steps that our young people can take to maintain positive relationships.
All right, so let's first look at the first question about to make schools peaceful environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think first we have to create an environment at the school that fosters a culture of respect, where students learn to respect each other, they learn to communicate with each other. And at school, what I've seen, what I've been doing over the years is getting the parents involved. We have to get parents involved if we want to keep peace at school. Because let me tell you this, I have seen situations where parents just pop in, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a problem with this. When we say popping is like they don't say to their child, we're coming by today. And I can tell you this. You see a total different child when their parents is there than when their parents is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also we have seminars where we teach parents themselves, because I saw somebody said that in the comment section. We teach
Right.
parents themselves conflict resolution skills. So we ensure that we create this environment at school where we say, look here, students, we are against bullying. We are against fighting. We are just here to create an atmosphere of love and understanding for each other. What was your follow-up question again? Sorry
So I
about
wanted to know some of the practical steps that young people could take to maintain positive relationships. And I think you actually did say one of them in terms of learning conflict resolution skills, but was there anything else?
Yes, they could also be a part of clubs. As simple as it might sound, but being a part of clubs, it teaches them to work with each other and have an understanding with each other and to love and care for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also the students must learn to create what I would call a classroom, but the classroom should become your family, your brothers and sisters. That's the approach that we should take when it comes down to their classroom. So, like you say, all right, this is my family, this is my brother, these are my brothers, these are my sisters. You see, if we create this environment at school, I am telling you, we will have a very, very peaceful and easygoing school. But I want to emphasize again, we need the help of parents.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, we need the help of parents in schools.
Awesome. And did you, Michaela, or you, Matthew, want to add to that question in terms of what you think young people, what steps young people should take to maintain positive relationships?
Okay.
I'll comment on
Oh,
that.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Right, guys? So I think two things that people can keep in mind: don't be too transactional, and don't be selfish when it comes to relationships. When I say don't be too transactional, don't have it in your head that I'm friends with this person because I know they can give me something else. Don't have it in your head that I'm relating to this person because we dislike a common figure. Don't keep it in your head that I'm friends with this person for some external reason, right? You have no obligation to be friends with anybody. So when you're friends with somebody, just because you like them and you're enjoy their company, and don't be selfish as well in that you're going to hold on to grudges and hold on to things that they've done because you don't want them to think that they're better than you. That's not how relationships with people should work, right? In a non-professional setting, and this can help as well when it comes to letting go of relationships that don't serve you. When you're related to somebody, or when you're friends with somebody, it is just because you share common interests, common ideas, common goals, and you like to see that person thrive. If you're not holding those selfish sentiments and you're not holding those transactional sentiments, it's easier to build better friendships, and even easier as well to let go of friendships that no longer serve you or that can become toxic and lead to unpeaceful resolutions.
Okay. And Michaela?
Yeah, I was going to speak to this kind of, but I thought of something else, and it would have to be communication, the process of communication, which naturally entails speaking, and most importantly, listening, um, and expecting feedback, right? We've been learning about communication, and it is so, it's so multifaceted. There's so many things that you can say, or simple gestures that you can do that could convey completely or contradict what your intent is. And I think learning communication, learning how to speak, learning how to appropriately and effectively convey what you wish to say would greatly affect or impact maintaining relationships or the maintenance of relationships.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for being on with us today. I certainly was enriched by our conversation. I hope that our listeners were. And I know all the people in the comments were enjoying it. I'm seeing a lot of persons hailing up Mr. Ibanks. You have a lot of fans in the comments. But yes, it was a fruitful discussion, and I'm hoping that our young people were listening and learning how to communicate, how to be emotionally aware. These are things that nobody tells you you need to know, but you need to
Yeah.
know. You need to know. So, thank you again. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Mr. Banks, for being on with me today.
You're most
Thank you
welcome
for
and thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Alrighty, awesome. So you just heard from our guests in the discussion segment, Miss Michaela Brown, Mr. Matthew White, and Mr. Micton Ebanks. They are all doing their part to encourage peace and love in our schools. Well, we're just about there at that time to wrap up the show. And I just want to thank each and everyone for listening, for your comments, for your feedback. It was much appreciated. Thank you so much to Dr. Nadine Blair, our operations/programs manager, Jermaine Johnson, our producer, Timoy Butler, my technical support and co-host in the background, Shania Smith, David Sutton and Latifa Reed for news support, Raquel Robertson for digital media, and Ruth Lawrence, our campus consultant. Thank you to Jonathan Fletcher in his absence, and to our guests, Miss Danielle Tavares for the Education News and Bulletin, Miss Tishana Mullings, JP, or Creative Block guest. Thank you to Miss Tyra Renee Harris for the I Chose Christ feature, Miss Michaela Brown, Matthew, Mr. Micton Ebanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And this is how we say goodbye. Coming up on next week's show, we'll be talking about trending health. That's our next show, Tuesday, March 12th. So please stay with us until next week, right here on your family station, Love 101, as we explore more things while going on campus. See you next week.
Concern you, I don't know where come past you. It's all about the gospel. Tell you what.